How are we doing, everybody? Welcome back to another rendition of Blitz Boys. Josh, how are we doing, my friend? A big football Sunday. We got a good Monday night game. Yo, listen, Josh. This is kind of rare territory. We had a solid Sunday slate. Thursday night football was trash, but we're not going to talk about that. Sunday slate was solid. The Sunday night game was good, and now we got a good Monday night game as well. So things are kind of lining up for the talking points right now. But Josh, how are we doing?
Feeling really good, man. It was a good weekend of football, good weekend of betting. I can't complain, man.
No, listen, you're kind of a freak, though, because, when most people say a good week of betting, you think of the NBA, you think of the NFL, baseball season, you think of that. No. Josh, what do you bet on, my friend? Why don't you tell the people?
Chinese basketball, man. That's where it's at.
Yeah.
That's where
what a weirdo.
5-0, bro. 5-0 on the weekend.
Listen, Alex, it's not my fault that you think of Josh in that way because I don't. But Alex, I clearly know where your head's at. So
I'm flattered, Alex, but you're just just not.
Yeah. See, even Josh is a little sussed out. But don't worry, Alex. You'll recover one of these days. I'm surprised you can even watch the show. All the money he's trying to make right now. He's a busy man. So miracles do happen, I guess. But with that being said, I think we got to pay the bills to start the show as we usually do. I almost skipped that. I really almost did, but we can never forget, because if you like to bet Chinese basketball like this weirdo Josh over here, go over to mybookie.ag, use code USN100 to double your first deposit up to $1,000. They're definitely doing some good things on the betting side for everybody that uses that. I always go back to the example of week 1 in the NFL, where I believe the Chiefs had to lose by 55 points in order for you to lose the bet. And I don't really think anybody during that was sweating it too much. Now, with that being said, after, of course, you win all of that money, you're then going to go over to Teespring/store/Unwrapped, and you're going to go buy some of the merch. Because I know that I certainly did. We're releasing promo codes all the time. We got basically everything you want as well. We got shirts. I got a sweatshirt upstairs. I got a poster. Now, listen, I'm going to put the poster up one of these days. But to be clear, this isn't even technically my room. This is my brother's room. And we're going to redo my room after, and hopefully pretty soon. So then I'll have the poster up. I got my mom a nice coffee mug for the holidays. Got to sip on that hot cocoa. So we got basically everything that you need. Make sure you head over there and check out our merch. And then with your leftover money, since you are a professional bettor, you're going to go over to rxhemp.com, use code rxhemp-usn to save you 10% off of your entire order. They got the premium CBD products over there. Long day at the gym, like our boy in the chat. Josh, I don't know if you saw, we got some power lifters in the chat these days. I don't even know how much he was squatting or whatever the hell he was doing. But listen, I'll tell you what, it's a lot more than I can do. So I'm sure that young man is going to go over to RX Hemp and get some of those creams, because there is no way that after being a beast like that in the gym, you're not a little bit sore. There's no way.
Yeah, no way.
Yeah, look at this. A 500-pound squat.
That's impressive.
I remember. Don't get me wrong. I do remember my first day at the gym too, when I was doing that. Because that's just some light work. But I was feeling it after the 500-pound squat. So I'm sure that Sam is as well. But you know how we start these shows after we pay the bills. Yes, Michael, get it, Sam. What a legend. Can't believe he can do that, because, well, there's no chance in hell. Let's see. We got to go to the Who Am I? This is how we always start off the show. Now, it's Josh's turn. For me, I think I'm going to get it, though. He told me that it's not too difficult, so we're going to see how this goes. We got 1:40 on the clock. I opened my calculator. That is definitely not a timer. Let's see. We got the stopwatch here. So after Josh's first hint, I'm going to start it, see if I can get this correctly.
I was drafted in the first round of the 2004 draft.
Okay. It's Jeremy Chin. 2004. Okay.
I have 2 1,000-plus receiving yard seasons.
Ooh. 2. Did he come close in other seasons?
He did in multiple seasons.
Okay. Listen, I was 4 years old. How dare you? All right, what's up next?
I have the second most yards in a single quarter with 205 yards and 2 83-yard touchdowns.
Wow, so he went full Klay Thompson where he, dribbled the ball like five times but scored, damn near however many points. 2000, damn, he was nice like that.
And that was in 2006 when he had that game. So only 2 years into the league.
Okay. We got any more?
We got a couple more. Played for Buffalo and Baltimore.
Oh, God. I don't even have an idea right now. And I probably should.
All right, this last hint, it kind of, just in case you wouldn't get it, this should help out a little bit. I'm well known for dropping a game-winning pass against the Patriots.
Oh, my God. Now I know who it is, but I don't know his name. Was it the playoff game?
Yeah.
I know exactly who it is because I remember that game. We caught it in the end zone, and it was just right out of his hands by Kyle Arrington. I don't know his name, though. I literally have no idea.
You want to give it to you?
We're at 2 minutes anyway. Who is it?
Lee Evans.
See, our man in the chat over here got it.
Good old Lee Evans.
I think I deserve half a point because I know exactly who it was. I just can't. I'm not. You know what? Here's my problem with this segment as well. You know what? I am not a name person. Like, there's people that I went to high school with that I'm like, oh, do you know who this is? That my friends will say their name. I'm like, I've never heard of them in my entire life, ever. They show me a picture. I'm like, oh, yeah, they were in my class. But I remember that play. Shout out my man Lee Evans for dropping that ball.
I love how he has like good stats. And if you look up Lee Evans on YouTube, it's either some singer or it's just him dropping the pass. Like it's a 15-second clip.
I feel so bad for the athletes that have a solid career and then are known for one thing.
Like that dude had some good numbers, and all he's known for is dropping that pass. Dude.
Like Billy Buckner. Billy Buckner, man, solid career. And the only thing he will ever be known for is letting the ball go right through his legs to let the Mets win that game. There are certain people that'll just never be – and then is that the same game? Yeah, I believe it was. That's the same game where he dropped that pass and then the kicker missed the field goal to win the game.
I think so. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that happened. But
I feel like it's the same game.
It probably
and if it is, that's one heartbreaker. That is an absolute heartbreaker.
Because it was like second down and there was only like 22 seconds left when he dropped it. So it's probably that game.
I think that was like the 2011 playoffs.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, shout out Lee Evans, though. I mean, then again, I kind of wish that they beat us that game so I didn't have to watch a Super Bowl loss. So it's kind of, a double-edged sword. But, whatever. We don't even talk about those Super Bowl losses anyway because, we got Super Bowl wins to talk about, so why talk about the losses? You know what I mean?
Yeah, David Tyree, man. David Tyree.
I don't even know who that is. Never even heard of him, actually. Yep. Never heard of him. Mario Manningham. Don't even.
Burris, man.
Oh, Eli. Don't even know who that. Nope. Eli. I think that's a weird way to say Peyton. Or Archie, or who's their like nephew or something that's coming up through the ranks right now.
I don't know his name, but he's good. Like he's
nice. He's nice. He might. That's what for all the things that the Mannings have done to me. That's that you got to start looking at them as maybe the best family in sports history.
Yeah, because if he can learn,
Peyton's a top 5 quarterback. Eli got 2 Super Bowl rings. Their dad was very, very good, but he was just on the Saints at the wrong time. They sucked.
Yeah.
They were terrible. So you can't really blame that on him. And now they got a nephew coming through. Yeah. That's different, bro. That is different. I feel bad for the third Manning brother though, because I don't think anybody knows his name.
Nah, because he got injured in college. And played with Eli. Got injured. Was done playing. He was a receiver though. He ain't doing nothing.
What up? He's going to be the next Randy Moss. But let's move on to the Monday Night Football game tonight. We got a pretty good one. Like I said at the beginning of the show, we've had some solid games this week. We have the Browns and the Ravens. And to start it off, I think that this is kind of the question that can be answered. Yeah, and Alex said, family, the Marys are getting that bag, just like Alex is. So, Alex, I'm waiting on my stimulus check. But anyway, back to the game. If the Browns do win this game, I know that the Ravens are kind of a different team than what we saw last year. So I think if the Browns were to win this game against last year's Ravens, it would be more impressive because we've kind of seen them struggle this season. As Alex says here too, Austin Hooper is inactive today, so that's a little tough. That's a little tough for them, but I feel like they don't really go to the tight end as often anyway. But with all of that being said, do you think that winning this game makes the Browns a Super Bowl contender? I'll let you go first on this one.
Yeah, I think if Baker Mayfield can have a solid passing game against them and show that last week against the Titans wasn't just like one of those random Baker games and that he's really kind of figuring it out late in the season, I think they can be. I think the Bills have really been impressive after that win last night. I think they're Super Bowl contenders, and then obviously the Chiefs are as well. And the Steelers can be considered that too. But the Browns, I mean, those are going to be tough games for them to win. I think if they can win convincingly tonight against a tough defense, I would call them Super Bowl contenders as long as they can stay healthy through the playoffs.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think it has to be a convincing win. And as Alex says here, once again, the Browns' running game is really the key to them. You kind of look at them and think of the Titans in the same breath as, if they can get the running game established, that's kind of where their offense clicks on everything else. But the key to that is Baker Mayfield, because we all know what Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt can do. They're probably the best running back, duo in the league, I think, easily. I don't really know because you got star running backs, but then again, you look at their backups and who really are they? I think that
Christian
these two
McCaffrey,
are.
Mike Davis, man. We're top. We're top.
All right,
five. Come on now.
I said, but I think that they're the best. They could no. Mike Davis and McCaffrey are up there too, though. If it's the weeks, what is it? Whenever the first 2 weeks McCaffrey was hurt, that Mike Davis shows up, and not the recent one.
Yeah, we get weeks 1 and 2 McCaffrey. Well, we get 2019 McCaffrey in weeks 3 and 4 Mike Davis.
Woo, you're a problem. It might be the best team in the league.
Oh, yeah.
But Mike Davis may have earned himself a job this offseason, Alex. You are correct about that. But I think, like we were saying before, the key to this game really is Baker Mayfield. We know what the running backs can do. But if Baker's going to go out there and play very well against, a Ravens team that might be struggling, but I don't really blame it on the defense too much. I think the offense, some of the defensive coordinators are kind of caught up to them and, slowed them down, slowed Lamar down a little bit. And if Baker can go out there against a solid secondary and, get Jarvis involved, he can get, the running backs involved in the passing game. They can get, I guess, Njoku involved today. And I think if they can do that, if Baker throws, 2-3 touchdowns tonight, doesn't turn the ball over, I think that solidifies them as a serious threat. But, if they win this game 17-14, a really ugly, gritty game where Baker turns the ball over 1, 2, 3 times, but the running game is really what saves them. I don't know how you come out of this game as a Browns fan feeling, overly happy about anything, because while you might have won the game and, it's another stepping stone to getting into the playoffs, I think you really want to see Baker play well tonight, because in the playoffs, we've obviously seen it that, teams are probably going to try to stop your number one thing, and that it would be the running game for the Browns. So if they can get Baker going tonight and keep that energy going from last week, then it'll be very fun to see what the Browns can do in the playoffs, because you look at Baker's career as well. This has always been the story for them. He plays very well against the Bengals, and I can't think of the other team in that division. Who's the other bad team?
In what division?
Their division.
The Steelers?
No, Steelers, Ravens, oh, no, there's only 4, right?
Yeah.
I was thinking of baseball. I really was thinking of baseball. But he plays really good against the Bengals, and then his career against the Ravens and the Steelers, not so well. Definitely not what you want to see. So if he can, kind of get rid of those demons and play well against the Ravens tonight, because we saw it early in the year, they smacked them. I mean, smacked them. But I think it'll be very interesting. Now, the next thing that we got to get into, though, and I hate using the term because I think it's just a rough view. Is this a must-win game for the Ravens?
Yeah, I think it definitely is. They need to get some sort of confidence. I I mean, what are they? 7-5, or 5-7, or something like that.
Yeah, they're 7-5.
So are they in the playoffs? Like, are they going to make the playoffs or not?
I don't. They are not in the playoffs right now. Believe it or not, I'm gonna look just to make sure, but I'm about 99% sure if the season ended today, they are not in the playoffs.
All right, so I think it's a must win.
I lied to you. They are. They're because there's 8 teams that make it, right? Or is it 7 now?
17.
7. So yeah, they're the eighth right now. They're 7-5. Miami's ahead of them at 8-5. Indianapolis 9-4. Cleveland 9-3. Tennessee 9-4. And then you get other teams like that. So
yeah, I think it's a must win, even if it doesn't lead to the playoffs. They need to get some confidence in themselves, even heading into an off season. They've been ugly this year all around. Offensively, they haven't been able to run the ball like they did last year. Lamar's throwing looks worse than it did last year. So I think they just need to get some confidence. Obviously, their defense has had some injuries, but not enough injuries to be this bad this season after coming off a really good year. I think they need this win badly because the Browns are on a roll. They're playing really well. Beat a really good Tennessee team last week, and the Ravens have dropped a couple games against some bad teams. So I think they need this win, get some confidence in them. If they can get to the playoffs, maybe winning these last couple games of the regular season could get them back into the shape they were last season before the playoffs. But I think this is definitely a must-win game for them.
yeah, I tweeted it out earlier today, and like I said, leading into this, I hate the term must-win because I feel like until it's legitimately a must-win, you can't really have must-win games. This is a game you would really, really, really like to win, but must-win is always a little difficult for me. But even with all that being said, I do think it is a must-win because if they lose to the Browns, then you really start having concerns. And it's not because they lost to the Browns, because we've seen it so far this year that the Browns are a pretty solid team. But now you're even further back, in the division, or well, not technically the division because that's over, but the wild card because the Browns currently have that spot right now. So you kind of want to try and leap them. The Dolphins have been playing pretty well. We obviously saw that yesterday with the Chiefs, and we'll get into that game a little bit later. But it's going to be real difficult. You're just going to make things a lot more difficult for yourself than you actually need to if the Ravens lose this game. And I think, another thing for the Ravens to see tonight is if they go down in the game, because I've said it, this year, and that Lamar kind of hit his ceiling, and don't want to get into that because that's a whole different story. But if the Ravens go down tonight and they do have to pass the ball, like they have had to in the past, and Lamar can't get it done, that's when I think you really start getting concerned about the Ravens as well. Kind of like with the Browns, where if Baker plays bad, you're a little concerned about them. If the Ravens get down and Lamar can't pass his way to victory, like we've seen, other quarterbacks be able to do, I think that you got to be a little concerned about that too.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's some quarterbacks you just don't want to have to throw the ball a lot late game, like Taysom Hill on Sunday with the Eagles, just throwing it 38 times. That's not his game. And so there are some quarterbacks like Rodgers and Mahomes and Russell Wilson. You're okay with them throwing it a lot to try to get you back into the game. But quarterbacks like Lamar, Baker, my guy Cam, even, you don't want them throwing the ball 10 times on a drive to try to tie the game.
Tannehill, people, just people like that you really know, like you said, there's certain players that you just know that the offense isn't technically tailored around them. And while the Ravens offense is tailored around Lamar, it's more tailored around his legs than his arm for sure. He's solid over the middle, but passing it outside of the numbers, we've seen, the relationship with Hollywood Brown not be the best this year because, listen, he's a deep threat receiver. That's not really Lamar's game. So it'll be interesting to see what is in store for us tonight in this game. Alex said it earlier today, which I did not even know, 30-degree day. So it's probably going to be a battle of the run games, as he said. He also says that he think, having a feeling of a vintage Lamar game. Hey, I can see it, but also that Browns defense is definitely no joke. Myles Garrett, when he's not murdering people with helmets, defensive player of the year candidate. So it'll be interesting to see what the Browns defense does. They've seen Lamar probably more than anybody, obviously, playing in that division. So let's see what they can do. But with all that being said, Josh, what you got for a score tonight?
I think I like it 20-14 Cleveland. I think they're going to win the game. think kickers have been awful, so I think there's a
Oh
missed
my
extra point
gosh.
there. But I
Awful,
think,
bro.
yeah, it's been so ugly.
The kicking this week has been, in a word, disgraceful.
Yeah, it's been ugly.
Let's see. You know what? I think Baker's going to try to prove himself tonight. I'll go 27-20. Baker throws the game-winning touchdown.
That would be amazing.
Bold prediction right there. Baker's throwing a solid 20-yard touchdown dot to Jarvis Landry, one-hand catch, Odell style.
That's a guarantee right there.
Absolute guarantee. I've never been more confident in anything. Now let's get into the Sunday night game recaps. Like I said, it was a very fun Sunday afternoon. Had some pretty solid games. We'll start off with the Saints and the Eagles. It was a weird game, to say the least, because, you look at this game at the beginning of the season, you're thinking, oh, Drew Brees versus Carson Wentz. It'll be fun, blah, blah. And this game ended up being Jalen Hurts and Taysom Hill. So it was definitely not what we expected, maybe, in the beginning of the season, heck, even, 3-4 weeks ago. But with that being said, you think the Saints have any worry after that loss to the Eagles, Josh?
Yeah, I think they do, just defensively. I mean, they're in a division not with a lot of running quarterbacks, but just, when they got a different look, which is what Jalen Hurts gave them, he kind of switched up the game plan, which they're normally not used to seeing. They just couldn't really stop them. They didn't do too well in the passing game. It was really weird. They did it well in the second half, but the first half, the Eagles' offense just had their way with them. I think it also is a worry offensively. I know Drew Brees is probably going to be back. Maybe I don't think he's out for the whole season, so he'll probably be back in the playoffs.
I think he might be back before the regular season's over.
All right, so they'll get him back, but I just don't understand what they're doing offensively. Even when they got the game back to close, they were not running the ball at all. They weren't getting it to Kamara like they needed to. And when they did, it was just screen passes straight to the sideline. They weren't giving him any opportunities. So I think they really need to fix what they're doing. They've been good all year, but they just sort of had a really weird game plan coming into this game. And I was shocked that they lost. Definitely that lost me a little bit of money. So it was ugly to watch, but I think they do need to worry a little bit after dropping a game like that, because even though Hurts played okay, the rest of that Eagles team is not that good. They didn't have Slay. Their two safeties got injured. They were facing third-string secondary half the game, and they still weren't able to pull it off. So I think they need to worry, not too much, but they do need to take a look at this and be like, hey, we can't lose games like that.
Yeah, like you said, I think that there's a cause for concern maybe, but worry it would be a little bit strong for me, only because you look at this game, and yeah, they had a week to prepare for Jalen Hurts, but it was still his first, NFL start, so they don't really have too much tape on him. They only have, what they could have gotten last week and, the few games that he's come in randomly throughout the season so far. And then you look at it too, not having Drew Brees. Listen, we're going to get into this later too, but if you think Taysom Hill is really the answer going forward, I got, some news for you. I definitely don't see it. But like you said, my problem with the Saints offense recently, and, ever since Brees really got hurt, is you would think when you have a running back like Kamara, who we've seen so far, early on in the season was an absolute beast. You could have put him in the MVP conversation with anybody starting the season. You remember he had that game with like 10 catches over 150 yards. Like, he is an absolute dual threat when it comes to running backs. And you would think with your quarterback going out, you would get a running back more involved. And they just went the complete opposite way. It feels like Alvin Kamara is not even a part of this offense anymore. They're trying to – it looks like Sean Payton's trying to prove to everybody that he can kind of win with anybody with, Taysom Hill, like you said, throwing the ball 38 times. You have to know in the back of your head that should not be your game plan. Like, I really thought that when Taysom Hill came in, it was going to be a lot more of Kamara and, the read options and things like that. And it's just not happening right now, which is a little strange to me. So I'd be a little bit worried or a little bit concerned, worried. I don't know. Because when Drew Brees comes back, I think you have more of a feel to your offense. The defense definitely didn't, play up to par, I guess you could say, in this game. But we've seen them shut down some other teams. So a little shocking to say the least. I'm glad that I didn't have anything on this game like you did apparently. And because I'm telling you right now, if I did, I was going with the Saints all the way. But we kind of touched on it a little bit. Do you think that there's a chance for Taysom Hill to be the quarterback of the future for the Saints? Because let me tell you, I got no faith. And I know that their other option right now is Jameis Winston, who was, 30 for 30 last year and not even the documentary, which, would have been a different case. But listen, your quarterback has to be able to throw the ball, and Taysom Hill throwing it 38 times didn't work for them. I don't think it is going to work for them. When you kind of figure him out, he's mediocre at best. He can just do a lot of things all right. I don't think he's exceptionally good at anything, especially when it comes to throwing the ball. You obviously saw it in this game. So I don't know what their plan, after Drew Brees moves on is. Do they keep Taysom? Are they really going to try this experiment? Do they keep Jameis around to see what he can do maybe with this offense? You got Michael Thomas, Alvin Kamara, but we saw it with him in Tampa Bay that he didn't really do much with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin either. So it's a weird situation for the Saints. I don't think Hill is the quarterback of the future at all. You're going to argue with me on this one, Josh?
No, I agree. I think the only way that he stays as the quarterback of the Saints of the future is because they really like him. Like, they talk nonstop about how good he can be. And I think that's the only reason they would have him at quarterback for the future, is just because they're in love with the dude. I think they need to go draft someone, whether it's middle of the draft. There's a lot of good quarterbacks coming out of this class. I think if they can trade up and get somebody, then that could be a good answer for the future. But I don't think it's Jameis. I don't think it's Taysom. I think they need to find someone. Teddy Bridgewater is available, if you ask me about it. So if you want him back, John Payton, come get him. But I don't think Taysom Hill is the answer for them after Drew Brees.
Look at you. I'm a little disappointed in you already getting rid of Teddy Two Gloves.
If you watched the game yesterday, you'd understand, man.
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't watch too much of that game. I had every other game. I only caught the end of it where there was another, turn. Was it a turnover to end the game?
No, we just decided to throw a drag route on 3rd and 18.
That's what we call bold strat.
Yeah,
bold.
It's just what we do.
That's very bold. But get back to the Saints and the Eagles. Like I said before, the defense didn't play up to par, but do you think that this defense is as good as we thought they were? Because I still think that they're a very solid unit. We've obviously seen them shut down some pretty good offenses this year. We saw it in both of the games with the Bucs. Listen, let's not overreact here. It's not like the Eagles put up 40 points and that's the reason they lost. It was just a bad offensive game for the Saints, and they maybe didn't play up to par as they did in other weeks. But like I said, I can kind of excuse that to not having too much tape on Jalen Hurts. So I think they're still a pretty solid unit. I'm not too concerned about them.
Yeah, their secondary kind of worries me. I mean, they looked really good in the past. Marshawn Lattimore, when he first came into the league, he's absolutely amazing. Malcolm Jenkins was supposed to be that huge addition, but they just haven't looked that good. Malcolm Jenkins has been doing a lot of work in the box, leaving Marcus Williams back there to do it by himself. And we know what happens when it's up to Marcus Williams to make a play and get the Minneapolis Miracle. So I just don't trust that secondary, and I think that's a problem in that conference. When you're most likely going up against Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson in the playoffs, you need a good secondary to try to beat them. So I don't think it's that they're not who we thought they were, because their front seven is great. They've been playing amazing all year, getting to the quarterback, but that secondary is just, they've kind of declined for me all year. I think they definitely need to pick it up when it comes to the playoffs.
Well, it's going to be a very interesting thing going forward to watch what their defense can do, because hey, like I said, if they can play anywhere near that they did with the Bucs, they might be the best team in NFL history, because I've never seen a better defensive game plan against any other team. So I guess they kind of have to hope that they play the Bucs in every single round of the playoffs, including the Super Bowl. The NFL might have to change the rules a little bit to, they're going to have to make it a best 4 out of 7 tournament type of thing to win the Super Bowl. And could you imagine? I honestly would not be mad. I really. Oh wow! See what you did there, Josh. You did exactly what we were talking about earlier today. You're Billy Bucknering Williams,
they can't escape it, man. They can't escape it. They made
Marcus Williams. All right. See, here's my thing. You think Marcus Williams could make a Malcolm Butler type play, and he would be known for that, or the Minneapolis Miracle still?
I think he'd probably be known for that Malcolm Butler type play for a couple months, but then it's straight back to Diggs down the sideline. Man.
It would be so funny because I can tell you exactly right now what would happen. He would make that play, and then like a month later, all of the memes and things would be they would take the beginning of that play and be like, oh yeah, Saints fans, I know you remember this. And they would take the beginning of that play and put like good emojis all around it, making everybody hyped up, and then they would automatically switch it to the Minneapolis Miracle. Like I can see it happening already.
I could see Troy Aikman, like if he's calling the Super Bowl, right when Marcus Williams makes that play, he like says that he's making up for the
oh my god, that would be the first thing out of Joe Buck's mouth.
For real, that's
the first thing. Joe, listen, I'll tell you Joe Buck's call right now. It's he gets the interception, and he makes up for the Minneapolis Miracle. Like, bro, he just won the Super Bowl. You really got to bring it up, my guy. Like, come on. That's exactly what would happen. Okay. But last thing for this Saints and Eagles game before we move on to the Bucs and the Vikings is, there's officially, there has been kind of all year since they made the draft pick, but the quarterback, I can't think of the word now. I'll go with situation. That's not the word I'm looking for, but I can't think of it right now. It's definitely yeah. You know what? See, Josh, this is why I need you. This is why I need you. This is exactly why I can't do a show by myself. Just kidding. I would thrive. But no. Do you think that the Eagles trade Wentz if Hurts continues to play well?
I think absolutely. If Hurts can be that type of guy for him, I think the Colts, Frank Reich would love to have Wentz back with them because they really worked well together. It's just that contract that'll make it really, really tough to trade him away. He's getting paid a lot of money, but I do think Wentz, it's not going to work in Philly with him. Doug Peterson and him are not on the same page. Finally, it's about time.
Listen, I've always needed Josh. We just go back and forth, got to have the friendly banter to make the show the best one around.
Yeah, definitely. But I think they should trade him if Hurts can finish the season strong, get a couple more wins. I really like Jalen Hurts coming into the draft. I didn't really like him going to the Eagles because, Wentz was their guy. But the way he's been playing this year, I could see them trading them because I think they'd get a good package back if they can find that contract match.
See, Alex, this is where you lose me. I try to be nice to Josh, where everybody always says, "Oh, Connie, you always can't," blah, blah, blah. And then you got to say that he's carrying the show. Unbelievable, Alex. We're gonna Josh. We're gonna have to have Alex on part 2, and I think this time instead of him, because I think Alex is doing this on purpose now, Josh. I think he's trying to drive a wedge between us.
Yeah,
so he can scoop in and take the show from one of us. Therefore, I think we have Alex back on, and instead of arguing with each other, we just roast Alex for the entire hour that we do the show.
I think that's necessary for the lifeline of the show. I think we have to.
Oh, he said 12/28 on vacation. Oh yeah, you're back. You're coming back. We're bringing up the money, the bags, your women friends. Yeah. We're doing everything. We're emptying the bag on Alex.
Poor Alex, man.
Yep, absolutely. But I think it'll be a little challenging to trade Wentz, like you said, because of his contract. Now, I don't know how the NFL, trading works technically, because I know, like, obviously I don't know if is it like every other sport? Because I know, like in baseball,
I think you got to make contracts match, but then again, it also is like every other sport. It depends on cap space for both teams. So
see, because that's the thing. Like in baseball, you can trade somebody, but for the first 3 years of the trade, like they'll still pay the contract, and then the other half you take it over. Like I don't know how trading in the NFL works. If I'm being, completely honest with everybody, so I don't know if it's like the NBA where they got to match up salaries and things like that. So I think the trade would be difficult. I got to, like you said, probably look into it more how NFL trading works. But if they can get it done, I guess they do it. I know the Patriots have plenty of cap space this offseason.
You want Carson Wentz?
I'll take, bro. I'm telling you right now, I would take Carson Wentz on the Patriots. Yeah, let Josh McDaniels and Bill get him in a room. Say, listen, bro. Cam comes back next year.
3 years.
Might cry.
3 year,
3 years.
3 year, $80 million deal. Because
Oh my gosh! Let me tell you something. Crying myself to sleep if it happens.
I would be so hyped, bro. I'd be like, wow, you guys really just gave this man $80 million.
At that point, I'd have to buy a Cam jersey. I don't have a choice.
That would be amazing.
Hold. What's Alex saying right here? Yo, that's first of all, that's definitely where Alex went to college. Wide receiver sponsored by RX Hemp. Well, I guess they should really try finding somebody new because we want somebody with talent to sponsor them. That's why they sponsor this show. You know what I mean? Well, let's move over to the Bucs and the Vikings. The Bucs offense looked a lot better than they did the previous week or actually probably the past 2-3 weeks. Obviously without the bye week included, they looked pretty solid yesterday. And this is kind of the question that we ask every single week. Are they now the favorite in the NFC? And you know what, Alex? I hope you do fight me when I see you. I hope I hope you do. I got tips and tricks and all that. It's raps. But Josh, you think that they're the favorite now? Because I feel like we do this every week with any NFC team. Because, well, as we've said before, there really isn't one.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think they have an argument to be. I mean, they played really well in this game. Their defense picked it up. They kind of kept Dalvin Cook in check for the most part in the second half. But I don't know. I still don't trust Brady when he throws the ball deep. He missed a lot of wide open receivers in the first half last week. Well, this past Sunday. So I still think it's just a 4-team race between the Rams, Seahawks, Packers, and not the Seahawks, the Saints, Packers, Bucs, and Rams. But I don't know. I think the Bucs have a chance, but I can't call them the favorite because of the inconsistency throughout the week.
Damn, Alex is trying to take the Henny nickname.
He was Henny A, bro. Henny Al.
Listen, there's only one Henny, and it's Henny J. So don't even try it, Alex. But yeah, like you said, I don't know. It's difficult to really say they are the favorite because they'll play well this game. Next week, they'll probably put up 10 points, and we'll talk about why they're terrible. The week after that, they're going to put up 45. So it doesn't really – it's difficult. Like we said, they haven't played too well all the time. The Saints haven't all the time. The Packers have their concerns. The Seahawks obviously have theirs. Like, it is just an absolute mess over the NFC, but a mess that'll be very fun to watch because I think that these playoffs are going to be very, very interesting on the NFC side because I think you said it on the AFC is kind of the Chiefs, and we had the Steelers there, but they're kind of struggling a little bit. What's going on there, Alex? What's wrong with your boys? There might be something a little wrong with the frauds over there. So the AFC side, we kind of think is decided, but the NFC is going to be very, very interesting. And speaking of the Bucs, the defense looks solid, but that's the thing. Can they slow down an offense like the Rams or the Saints, who they obviously struggled against, in those two games? That's the thing. I came into the season having so much faith in them, and watching them throughout the year, I've kind of lost a lot of it because they played well against some team. Like, they had the number one rush defense, blah, 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 all this. And Dalvin Cook in the first half of that game was an absolute monster. Like, it looked like they couldn't stop him or anything. And in the second half of the game, they kind of shut him down and the rest of the offense down. So, like we've been saying, it's hard to see what team is real because it feels like every single team in the NFC has two different sides.
Yeah, I think their defense is not as good as everyone thinks it is. I don't trust it. They're a little bit older in the pass rush and linebacking group. Their secondary, Winfield Jr., he was really good for them in the start of the season, and he's been solid throughout the year, but he's just a rookie, and he's their best DB. So I don't trust them to be able to stop an offense with Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers on it, or even Russell Wilson. I think they could fare well against a Jared Goff-led offense, but when it comes to those big games against MVP caliber players, I don't think they're going to be able to hang with them. And that offense hasn't been consistent enough to give their defense a break. So I don't trust that defense at all against those tough offensive matchups with the Packers.
See, that's exactly the perfect example, though, because you look back at that Packer game, right? first drive or two, it kind of looked like the Packers were just going to steamroll them. Then they get the was it 2 pick sixes or just one?
2 pick sixes.
2 pick sixes. They blow out the Packers, look fantastic. And then, they're going into a Saints game that we're all saying, the Bucs are kind of rolling right now. This is a different, Bucs team that they beat the first week of the season and get absolutely ran out of the building. So it is definitely going to be a little we got resident Packer lover here, Matt. Josh, how dare we? It was 1 pick six, not 2 with Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, listen. No, let's not die here. Oh, all right. We were close though. The other one was turned inside the 5. All right, so I respect it. But yeah, it's their defense is so up and down. I don't know. Like I said, it's going to make things more fun, but making predictions on these things it feels impossible. It really, really does. But going over to the Viking side of the football, they need some wins here. They definitely need some wins, and we'll kind of bunch these two things together. I think, in my opinion, they probably have to win out. They play the Bears, Saints, and the Lions, and then if they do win out, somehow make the playoffs or anything like that, how far do you think they can go?
Yeah, when we did the panel the other week, I called them contenders, and I still kind of feel like they're contenders. I like them overall as a team. I think they win 2 of the next 3. I think they beat Chicago, lose to New Orleans, and then beat Detroit. And depending on how the Cardinals play, that could sneak them into the playoffs. And depending on how the Bucs play the rest of the season. So I think if they do get to the playoffs, I think they're Super Bowl contenders. I think they could demolish the Seahawks with how bad that offensive line is. So I think that they have a chance if they can sneak into the playoffs. Kirk Cousins, I know everyone talks about primetime Kirk and his touchdown to interception ratio is pretty bad, but overall he's been really solid this season for them. I mean, look at what he's been doing with Justin Jefferson. He's been giving them chances all season and giving him a Rookie of the Year campaign. So I think if they can sneak into the playoffs, which I think they will, I think they could be a threat to some of those teams.
Yeah, they're 1 game behind the Cardinals right now. The Cardinals are 7-6, and then it's the opposite for the Vikings. The Cardinals have the Eagles next week, 49ers, and Rams. And that's the thing. I can kind of see them going 2-1. I could see them going 1-2. I don't think they go 0-3 down the stretch. So it's going to be interesting to watch because, like you said, I kind of think that it's a 2-1 situation for the Vikings going down the stretch. If they can somehow, maybe if that's the thing too. If Drew Brees is back for the Saints, I think that they lose. If it's still Taysom Hill, that puts it a lot more up in the air for me. I think that they can sneak that game out, but I don't know. It's a really hard to call because now you go over to the Cardinal side of the thing that who they need to lose to make the playoffs. Is Kyler Murray going to end up being healthy by the end of the season? Because I don't care what anybody, in that franchise is saying, he's definitely not right. You can see he doesn't run as often as he does. And I think it's because they're trying to protect his non-throwing shoulder so he doesn't get hurt, running the ball and doing stuff like that. The only way he's getting hit is if he gets sacked in the pocket. So they're kind of, watching him with hawk eyes, making sure he doesn't do anything crazy to ruin their playoff chances. So going down the stretch, I could see them. I'm kind of curious to see what happens if they tie. Like if they're both 8-8 at the end of the season, I don't know who has the tiebreaker. I don't know how that's determined because did they play each other?
Cardinals Vikings.
Yeah, I don't believe that they did. Let me look right now. Yeah, no, they never played each other. So then I don't know if it goes to like in conference record or I don't know how they do it over there. But it's going to be interesting to see going down the stretch. At the end of the day, let's see here. A bold prediction. Vikings sneak in 9-7. The Cardinals miss it 8-8. I don't know why.
Bold prediction. That is pretty bold. But I'll go with you on that. I feel it too. This Cardinals team's kind of derailing, and the Vikings have put up some good games outside of last Sunday. So I'll go there with you. Vikings win out. Cardinals drop 2. I think they sneak in.
What's funny? We're going to say this, and then we're going to do our prediction segment later, and we're going to totally forget that we predicted that. And we're going to be like, oh, yeah, Vikings definitely not winning this game. Hey, but listen, technically, if we do that, then we could be right twice or right once and wrong once. So, either way, it's a win-win for us. Look at us. Josh, I'm going to let you carry this next conversation because I know that you watch this game more than me. I know that you're much more passionate than I am. We'll go over to your boys, the Panthers and the Broncos. Starting it off, Teddy, I guess, had another bad game. Is it time for you boys to get rid of two-glove Teddy and move on for a new quarterback?
This game was really weird because both teams got hit with COVID. We were missing DJ Moore and a lot of our other weapons and a lot of players on defense, and the Broncos were missing a lot of their defense as well. So this game was just kind of a toss-up. It was Drew Lock versus Teddy Bridgewater. Shut up, Alex. I know, man. I watched it. But no, it was an ugly game. Drew Lock just dominated us the whole game. He was dancing on the sideline, doing Drew Lock things. But I didn't think our defense was going to keep us in that game anyway. I knew our offense needed to pick it up, and Mike Davis didn't really get the ball a lot, didn't do a lot. Teddy Bridgewater he really sucked. He was making some awful decisions. He was throwing the worst possible routes on almost every play. Our 2-minute offense has been awful all year, but it was just so bad in this game. I mean, we moved the ball on the first 2 plays. It was pretty solid, but then it was third and 9, and we just throw a swing route to Mike Davis. He gets tackled for a 1-yard loss, and then it's 4th and 10, game on the line. And we give it to Curtis Samuel on a 2-yard drag route and think he's just about to juke the entire Broncos defense. I just don't
Listen,
get
I did it in Madden last week. Why couldn't he do it?
I don't get it because it didn't make sense. We scored and I think it was 28 seconds the drive before to get us within 8. In 28 seconds, it only took us 4 plays to score. And the next drive, we don't do any of the same plays. We don't do the same concept. We just do the worst possible things we could do. I just don't get it, man. I hate it. I thought this was going to be a win. I'd be happy about it. But no, Drew Lock went out there and did Drew Lock things.
Of all the disrespectful things Alex said to me, this might be top 5. Man said I cheat in Madden. How dare you? I am an absolute monster. No. All Madden competitive. All Madden competitive always. It's not my fault that I'm a legend. I remember Madden 16. My friends against record, Josh, it was even better than my record against you in the prediction segment. I was 132-30 against friends in Madden 16.
You just catch the whole time, man. That's when it came out. You were cheating, bro.
It's called nothing but talent. Straight talent, I'm telling you. I am absolutely telling you. But I think, hey, if you're saying it, here's my thing. If you say that the Panthers need to move on from Teddy, I'm just going to agree with you for the simple fact you watch them a lot more than I do. You've kind of been the Teddy defender this year. Besides what he doesn't deserve it. You really want this man to succeed. So when you're saying that they need to move on,
the reason I think we need to move on is just because.
Josh, hold on. This is exactly what I'm talking about. I know that this is not true. I read the chat all the time. Alex is trying to drive a wedge between us, saying that Josh told him that I was bad at Madden. Unbelievable. You're wrong. Trying to drive a wedge between us. Fake
news.
And this is our director. Unbelievable. I'm calling for a resignation, Alex. I'm calling for a resignation. I'll be on the phone to Perry after this stream.
No, but the reason I think we need to move on from Teddy, he just doesn't fit our timeline for where we're going as a team. We gave him a 3-year deal. I thought it should have been a 1 to 2-year deal. I didn't see the reason for him sticking around for 3 years. I definitely think we need to draft a quarterback. If we're able to sneak into the top 4, maybe this year, and the Jets are still in love with Sam Darnold, and then the Jags get Trevor Lawrence. If we could luck out and get Justin Fields or be in position to get Justin Fields, and we pass on it because we want Teddy Two Gloves to be our franchise guy, I'm going to be so mad because then I just got to pray.
Will you resign from the Panthers fandom?
No, I can't do that. But it's just,
will you take a year off?
No, I can't do that either. I'm still going to pick him every game next year, man. 16-0 season, Teddy Two Gloves coming back. But no, I think he needs. I just don't think he's right for us. I think we need someone who's just a better passer overall, better decision maker. He's a good quarterback. He's just not for us and what Joe Brady wants to do with this offense, because this offense can get really complex, and I just don't think Teddy Bridgewater is that guy for us.
You know what? I could listen. I had. Oh yeah, you see that? See, Josh, you
I'm
might
more
as
of a
well.
Pats fan than you are already. Bro.
This is not true.
Already. You don't
No,
I got your starting quarterback's jersey on my wall, bro. Come on.
It's not even the right jersey.
Is it the player or not?
It's not even the right
Is
jersey,
it the
though.
player or not?
Yeah, sure, but it ain't even the right jersey. You're still living in MVP world, Cam. I'm living in 100 total yard, Cam.
Hey, man, I don't blame him for that. I don't blame that on him. 13 pass attempts and like 6 rushing.
That's all he can do. You know what?
What do you want him to do? What do you want him to do?
I want him to do more. Listen, were they not 12-4 last year with Brady?
They're all quick slants and they're all 4-yard curls. So yeah, every completion is about 5 yards. That's
Listen. Were they not a wild card team with Brady last year doing the same thing with the same people?
Not even the same situation at all.
It's the exact same
Brady and Belichick
thing.
have been together for 5 billion years. This is McDaniels and Belichick and Cam's first time together, man.
And hopefully their last.
Now, 3 years, $80 million.
Josh, stop putting that energy into the world. Yeah, I don't need that in my life. I am your co-host. Don't you want me to be happy in life?
4 years, 110. I think that sounds
Listen, the only 4-year contract I want is DJ LeMahieu on the Yankees, okay? That's the only type of 4-year contract that we need to talk about. And don't worry, I will get into that later. As Josh said in our Google Doc, MLB, Connie says stuff. So, because, obviously, whoa. Calm down, Alex.
He does, man. You see that?
Have you seen this hair? Lush, layered, soft. Luscious.
You don't got cam drip. You don't.
Yeah, let me go down to my grandma's house and find a hat. I can have cam drip too.
No, you can't pull it off like him, bro. He wears that because he knows he can pull it off better than anybody.
This is fake news.
No,
once again, fake news.
No.
Listen, we're off the rails here. We're off the rails. We're going back to the Broncos and the Panthers. We'll finish it off with this in regards to this game. Drew Lock looked good. Is he still their franchise QB? And then what do they have to do in the offseason to get back to the playoffs? And I think that's kind of a simple thing. Drew Lock, when it comes to their franchise quarterback, I want to see another year. We've obviously seen all the injuries that they've had this year with their star receiver. I can't think of his name right now. Going out with Cortland Sutton. Cortland Sutton going out with the ACL injury. Von Miller over on the defensive side. They've had all of COVID situations going on at the same time. So I want to see another year of Drew Lock before I can really judge it too harshly. He's had moments this year. He's had other moments where he doesn't look good. It's also his second year in the NFL, so it's kind of, what you start to expect from people like that. So give him one more year. And then to get back into the playoffs, honestly, I think you just stay the course. They drafted a lot of offensive talent this year. They got Judy. They'll have Sutton back next year. They have Melvin Gordon now. They have Phillip Lindsay, Noah Fant at the tight end position. You get Von Miller back next year, even though he's a year older. You get Bradley Chubb. Maybe draft some better corners. Maybe one more defensive lineman / pass rusher. And I think you're right back into things. I don't really think they really have to go too crazy here. I think that they have a pretty solid core to say the least, and then they'll be right back in contention.
Yeah, I think they stick with Drew Lock. I think he's still a really good quarterback with a lot of potential. I mean, he showed it a lot yesterday, and like you said, Jerry Jeudy. I mean, he hit Troy Pride with one of the coldest routes I've ever seen in my entire life, and so he's got a lot of potential too. They'll get Cortland Sutton back. They got a lot of stuff going for them, but I do think they need to shore up that defensive linebacking core. It's gotten older, and now they've moved on from all those older guys. They'll get Von Miller back next year, which will be huge. Justin Simmons has been one of the best safeties in the league the past couple seasons, so they got some bright players on that defensive side of the ball. So I agree. I don't think there's too much they need to do, just some retooling. Don't you ever say that again.
Jerry Chin
get that off
to the Patriots.
I
forgot that you have access now and you can actually take things off the screen.
Yeah.
You got me controlling comments and banners over here all the time when you could have been doing the same thing.
You got it, bro.
This guy, man. I gotta host. I gotta do. Oh my gosh. Help a brother out.
I'll do my part.
He said, "I show up." I'm doing enough right there.
Yeah, what do you need?
He said, "What else do you need, bro?" Let's go to the final game of the Sunday recap. We had the Chiefs and the Dolphins. A pretty interesting game, a lot more interesting than I thought it was actually going to be. The Chiefs started off slow, finished very strong, obviously, as you can see. And then I feel like the kind of question with them is, can anyone really beat this team, or are they kind of, Infinity War Thanos style? And then if they go back to back, you think they can three-peat as well? Here's my thing. I got to see them go back to back first, because we've seen a lot of teams, have the potential to go back to back, and you see it. The last time they did it was the Patriots, I think 03, 04, when we beat the Panthers that one time. But so it's hey, they made it, didn't they?
You want a cookie, bro? You beat Jake.
Listen, I'm a big man. I deserve a cookie. But yeah, so I got to see them repeat first, because there's always, listen, it's at the end of the day, it's still football. For all we know, AFC Championship game, going down to take a knee to end the game, Patrick Mahomes gets hurt somehow. It's just, this is literally just football, and of course, not wishing that on anybody, because you hate injuries. You hate injuries ruining playoff games, especially. So you kind of really have to see what happens throughout the rest of the season. Hope that there's no injuries, but if anybody can beat this team right now, call me crazy. I don't think it's the Steelers anymore. I obviously had faith in the Ravens earlier this year. That didn't work out so well either. But my new team that I'm putting my faith into is the Bills. I really, really like the Bills. I think that they're doing some great things. They have their defense is pretty solid. Josh Allen has taken, everybody always says the biggest leap is from year 1 to 2. This year, years 2 to 3, Allen has looked absolutely amazing, to say the least. He was in the MVP conversation early on in the season. He played well yesterday against even though the Steelers offense didn't look so good, that defense is still very legit, and he played pretty well against them. So I think that they might be the team that I'm putting my faith in and going forward. Do I think that they can beat them? Yeah. Do I think they will? That might be a different story. I think that the Chiefs are still definitely a step above everybody, but like I said, to repeat and then, like we said, three-peat, that's usually when you start losing coordinators as well. That's when you start losing players to free agency. So it's a lot of things like that I got to see, but so far this year, it looks like it could happen.
Yeah, I think they're definitely going back to back. I don't think anybody's stopping this team. Bills have looked really good, but they're not going to be able to keep up with the pace the Chiefs play at. I mean, that offense is really good. Josh Allen, absolutely amazing this year. But the Chiefs are they're a different beast. They're not going to be stopped. And I think with the fact that they have so many people under contract heading into next season still, I think they're going to be able to three-peat. I don't want to guarantee that, because I don't know what other teams are going to do.
Josh.
No, because my Panthers might beat them, so I can't.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about them.
I can't guarantee that, but I think they have a really good chance, just because somehow, some way, they rigged the salary cap to give everybody their desired contract.
Yeah, I still need the NFL to investigate that. I really do.
Yeah, I don't know
how in the absolute hell did they get Mahomes enough money to buy 18 private jets? And then they also paid Hill. They paid Kelsey.
Matthew.
Yeah, like how is that possible? And I'm sitting over here with the Patriots, who Bill's saying, oh, yeah, we sold out these last 2 years with the salary cap. That's why we're bad this year. You paid Brady like $5 every year. And Gilmore wasn't even the highest paid corner anymore. So you're telling me the Chiefs got all this money somehow, and every other team is just like, now we don't need it. Like, I need to know what happened. They're cheating somehow.
Yeah, I don't know how they did that, but somehow they did. They got their best players locked up for 5+ years now. So I think they have the potential to go three-peat. Like I said, depending on how other teams are looking, depending how far my Panthers go, then I might take a little bet on that. But no, I think they have the potential to do it. But like you said, Eric Bieniemy is most likely going to be gone either after this season or the following season. But even then, if they still have Andy Reid there, that offense will still at least be able to do what they normally do. And if you have Mahomes back there, you're always going to have a chance to win a lot of games. So I think there's a chance there, but it's too early to call that.
That they do. And then we'll go over to the side of the Dolphins. The defense held their own in the beginning of that game, and then, Tua's looked pretty solid. We looked up the stats before this game. Only completed like 58% of his passes. His QBR was like a 32. And, you look at those stats, certainly, but sometimes I always say this, I feel like stats don't tell the entire story sometimes. He threw the interception. He had over 300 yards, though. He had 2 touchdowns. And like I said, the defense looked pretty solid. You think that they have any chance to make noise in the playoffs and, do you think that Tua is really going to become that superstar that a lot of people had him becoming coming out of the draft?
Yeah, I think if they get to the playoffs, they could force some teams to make a late game comeback. I mean, look what they did to the Chiefs to start this game. Got Mahomes. Well, I blame whoever called that play for the first interception. How are you going to fake a halfback screen, fake a wide receiver screen, and then throw a tight end screen all in like 5 seconds? It was just the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. But I think if their defense can play like this, if they get into the playoffs, they could give some teams some problems. They could give an offense like the Bills, who have no running game, some serious problems. I think if they get to the playoffs, they can do that. I don't think they can win a game in the playoffs, but I do think their defense could keep them in a game. And with Tua, I've been up and down with Tua. I think he's getting more opportunities now throwing the ball. Like they're letting him loose a little bit. But even then, I feel like he's just too cautious out there. He's just making the absolute safest and smartest read, which is good. But it's not going to work when you have to play teams like the Chiefs. You're going to have to take some risks, throw the ball deep a couple times. But he was really accurate. There was a lot of drop passes for the Dolphins yesterday. So I'm impressed with him. I don't think he's going to be a superstar. I don't see it there.
No, Josh, I love that. I love that because I wasn't in love with Tua this year. I really wasn't. Yeah. He still scares me with that Bo Jackson hip.
Yeah, that's very scary. I mean, having a situation like that, it's one bad hit, or not even a bad hit. Someone just pulls your leg from the back, bro, and your career's over. But I think he's got potential, but I just don't know if he has that superstar quality you normally see from quarterbacks pretty early on. We saw it from Mahomes early on, Rodgers early on, Russell Wilson early on. Tua I feel like he's just going to be, and it's not bad. I think he's going to be like Alex Smith. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think he's going to be a smart quarterback out there, a check down type of guy. I think he'll have an okay career, but I don't see him being a superstar.
Yeah, like you said, I don't really see superstar out of Tua, and don't get me wrong, I could be completely out of my mind, but he's always scared me. I said it, to some of my friends coming out of this draft. When you have a lot of injury problems in college, it just still scares me in the NFL because it's not like you're going from, you're not going from bigger to smaller in the NFL. They're huge in the NFL. You got 350-pound linemen landing on you, basically every day of the week. So it's definitely, when you have injury problems like Tua did I believe he hurt his ankle like 2 or 3 times. He hurt, his hip, obviously. And I don't know, it just scares me. So I don't see superstar because I think that he unfortunately is going to go through some more injuries in his career. But if he can be an Alex Smith with the way that quarterbacks have looked in Miami, I think any Dolphin fan would take it any day of the week because we obviously didn't see Ryan Tannehill of the Titans in Miami. Well, that's because you had Adam Gase. They've basically been looking for a quarterback ever since, Dan Marino. So I think if they can have any semblance of decent quarterback play, they'll be all right because with the way Brian Flores is coaching, that Dolphin defense can really turn into, a Patriot-like defense, which is where he came from, where, you might only have to score, 20, 24 points a game because if your defense is giving up 16, 17, those are still wins anyway. And I think that's what the Dolphins can really become. They spent a lot of money in free agency to improve the defense. They'll obviously get draft picks eventually. I think they have draft picks because of the Tunsil trade and everything like that. So listen, the Dolphins are probably still a year or 2 away, but I think that they came up a lot faster than some people were going to give them credit for. Yes. All right. Let's see. I thought you were going to say something. I'm not going to lie to you. But let's move in to our Week 14 prediction recap as we, wrap up the Sunday games. Josh, how did we do? Come on. Tell me that I did amazing again. I don't know if I did. I didn't even look. I can't remember what I picked. But how did I do?
Yeah, Connie, I just want to say congratulations for winning the regular season picks. So it was very impressive, man. Congrats, dude. I sucked again for another week, man. And I went 5-10 when I really needed. Really needed a big week, and I took too many risky picks. And now I'm 96, 76, and 1. And you went 11-4.
Woo!
115, 54, and 1. So I basically need you to drop your next 19, and I need to win the next 19. I don't even know if that's possible, unless I just pick all the games right and you pick them all wrong. It's the only way I come back. So.
Oh, man, I might have to buy myself a crown or something. We might have to have a trophy ceremony on the show. What a beautiful time. A beautiful time. Just think. How many games have the Panthers lost this year?
Too many, man. Too many. I think we're 3-9. 3-9.
So you take those 9 games, that brings you down to 10 if you got all of those right? Oh, Josh. That's a sad time.
Guys. Ride or die.
I respect it. Maybe next season I'll only pick Patriots.
You know how sad it was,
like
tallying it though. Like I'm like, all right, let's see how I did, and I'm like writing down my wins and losses. It's just L. I was so mad. I was like, dude, are you serious?
What game this week did you look back on and say, wow, how the hell did I pick that? Like, what do you look back on and say, did I really do that?
There were a couple. I picked Minnesota. I picked the Giants. I picked Cincinnati against Dallas.
Oof.
I picked Atlanta. I picked San Francisco. And I picked Pittsburgh. So
which ones did I get wrong? I'm curious.
Carolina, New England.
The one time I picked you guys?
And your own guys.
True.
Houston. And what other one was it? I don't know what other one it was. Oh, New Orleans. We both picked New Orleans.
Yeah, that one we can't blame ourselves for. That one you just can't. You can't. I still can't believe that they won. Thank you, Alex. I'll take that winner's ribbon. I'll put it right here on the shirt. I'll wear it every week until I eventually get dethroned, which is probably going to happen in the NBA. Because we're gonna listen. Me and Josh, we're gonna figure out how to do an NBA prediction segment as well. I see this here. My thought was that we just pick all of the primetime games.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's weird because the primetime games, like, I don't know, we could do that, but I don't know how they're doing it this year. The season is shortened. I don't know what's going to be considered primetime.
They got a primetime schedule. We'll figure it out.
But it's like one game every Tuesday and Thursday.
I thought it was 2.
I'm not sure. I don't know how they're doing it.
Well, you know what, Josh? We're going to figure it out because I want to continue my run of greatness into the NBA season.
So first you got to beat me in the NFL playoffs.
Well, listen, I am not worried about that.
I think you should be, man. I'm picking the Panthers. I'm picking the Panthers every week, and we go all the way, man.
Yeah, okay. But with that being said, let's get into our Week 15 predictions. Let me just drive the knife deeper into Josh Hart here as I continue to pull away at the end of the season. Let's start it off with Thursday Night Football. We have the Chargers and the Raiders. This is a little tough for me. I like, since I'm ahead so big, I'm going to go with the Chargers just because I love me some Josh Herbert and Keenan Allen.
Just because
I still want to
try to pull it off. I'm literally going to pick the opposite of everything you pick. Just because that's the only way I have any chance of getting back into it. So I got to try. Go with the Raiders, man. Going with the Raiders.
You're going to pick – listen, if you pick the opposite of this game, you might have some problems, though, because I got Bills and Broncos. You got to go Bills. You have to. Listen, Josh, you might need wins to catch up to me, but if you pick opposite and they lose, then you're just falling further back.
Yeah, but Drew Lock just threw 4 touchdowns against my team, so he has to be the greatest quarterback to ever live. He did that against the Panthers, but no, I can't. I'll go Buffalo. I can't do it.
Even you can't talk yourself into it.
I can't.
Well, here is Josh's loss of the week anyway, because the next game is the Panthers and the Packers, and I'm absolutely going with the Packers.
I heard PJ Walker might get some PT, man. He's quite the quarterback, so I'm going with my boys. Mike Davis, career day. Let's get it, Panthers.
Listen, can you tell McCaffrey to come back? I need him for my fantasy playoffs.
Rest of the year. That's
what I know you didn't. I almost jumped through my Twitter feed and punched you in the face because I need him for my playoff run. I got money on the line here, Josh.
Oh, we play. Actually, me and you play in the redraft.
I know we do.
Yeah,
I know we do.
Yes,
I
sir.
smoked you in the regular season, too.
That was because DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson had a bye week, and that's when Will Fuller got suspended. So that's my 3 best receivers gone.
Listen, I think we might have to make another bet on this game.
You might, man, because just picked up Jalen Hurts. Cam's going to the bench. I'm not.
You were starting Cam the whole season?
I was doing it just because I thought, because, dude, I was 8-0, so I was like, oh, I'm good. I can just leave Cam in there. But no, those points really hurt, bro. When he puts up 4.5, I can't do anything with that.
Oof. Let's see. I got Deshaun, Austin Eckler. I'm gonna need James Conner to play a little bit better.
Derrick Henry, Kiki.
You have them?
Yeah, I have Russell Wilson, Derrick Henry. I have Adam Thielen.
Well, now I'm very happy that I didn't play you this week because Derrick Henry, grown-ass man against the Jags.
Oh, yeah.
But, we're going to figure something out here because we might have to see what goes on there. But next up, we have the Texans and the Colts. I'll go with the – no, because I'm playing you in the playoffs, I'm going to go with the Texans because Deshaun Watson is going to throw for 6 touchdowns.
It's an awful decision. Deshaun is literally the only reason that team is still a football team. I'm going with the Colts pretty easy here. Thanks for the dub. Get my confidence up a little bit.
I feel so bad for you that I'm at this point I'm just picking. Next up, we got the Titans and the Lions. I'm going with grown man and Derrick Henry.
Yeah, I'm going with the Titans too because Derrick Henry is about to have a crazy day, and I'm gonna beat you in the playoffs.
Nah, I think the Lions.
If I win the whole redraft league, I will take that as a makeup for me losing the regular season.
Nah,
what's better, a championship or winning the regular season? You tell me, man. You tell me.
Well, see, that's the thing, though. I'm going to win the playoffs, too.
But you're not.
All right.
Whatever
helps you sleep at night. Whatever helps you in that.
Bro. Your regular season crown means absolutely nothing.
Listen, when I win all 3, though, I want a hair reveal.
No, you got to do more for a hair reveal. I wait till someone offers me some money, bro, because apparently people really want that. So I'm like,
Alex, that's your cue. That's your cue, bro.
Alex, you got some bags, bro.
Exactly. Throw Alex some bread.
We can make it happen right now.
There you go. We're getting into different conversations here. Then we got the Bears and the Vikings. I'm going to go with the Vikings because Dalvin Cook is going to help me win a fantasy championship in my other leagues.
I'm going with Chicago, bro. Mitch had an amazing game. I think he keeps it going. Yeah, I'm going with the Bears.
Now we got the Seahawks and the Washington football team who, listen, Washington's, kind of playing pretty well recently. With that being said, I refuse to pick against Russell Wilson, so I'm going with the Seahawks.
Yeah, I'm going with Washington, bro. They're making the playoffs. They're no joke, bro. That defense, Russell Wilson had a tough time against the Giants. All right, wait till Chase Young has 4.5 sacks against him, bro. It's not going to be pretty.
Now we got the Patriots and the Dolphins. Since you ride with your boys all the time, I'll do it one more time for the hell of it. Let's go with the Patriots here.
I hate this because I'm probably going to do good this week, man. I'm probably going to have a solid as it's fun. I'm going with the Dolphins. They're going to win this game. Love my guy Cam, but he's probably only going to have 98 total yards, and that ain't going to get it done.
Now we got the Ravens and the Jags. It's pretty easy going with the Ravens.
I don't know, bro. Minshew Mania is back. Minshew Mania he just got the Doug Marrone said he's starting this week, but no way I'm picking him. I'm taking the Ravens.
Oh, come on.
No, bro.
Then we move on over to Tampa Bay and the Falcons. Going with the Bucs easily because even if the Falcons are winning in the fourth quarter, they'll blow it anyway.
Yeah, Falcons have they probably just all want to go home when Tom Brady walks in the building. So I'm going with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Now we got the 49ers and the Cowgirls. Never will I pick the Cowgirls, 49ers.
I feel like this is a toss-up game, so I'm just going to go with the Cowboys just in case, man. Just in case.
Now we got the Eagles and the Cardinals. Now, listen, we said this is where it gets tricky. I already picked the Vikings, I think.
Oh, yeah, I did.
You picked the Bears. See, I told you. Wow. See, I told you this was going to happen.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Damn. Hey, I win.
So you
I
know
either
what?
win or I win. It's
With all that being said, I'm going to go with the Eagles because why not?
yeah, I'm going with the Eagles too, man. I just picked up Hurts
Oh,
from my fantasy team. Need him to
he's
beat
going to
me.
have -5 points because they're going to replace him with Wentz VP.
I might even start Zach Ertz too. Who knows?
Oh yeah, good luck on that one.
Might happen.
And then we got the Jets and the Rams. The Jets are the worst team in NFL history. Going with the Rams.
You know, they might.
Don't even you know me.
They might be able to sneak one out here. You know, Sam Darnold might have something for Sean McVay in them, but I don't think we're living in that timeline. So I'm going with the Rams.
Ooh, we got a pretty good game. Actually, no, it won't be a pretty good game because Taysom Hill is the starter. I keep forgetting that. Chiefs and Saints. Got to go with the Chiefs.
Yep, no question. By 35.
By 35. Interesting. Bold prediction, honestly.
Sticking to it. Not even going to
Now,
second guess
see,
it.
this is how you know it's 2020 because the Sunday night game is the Browns and Giants. And not only is that the Sunday night game, but it was flexed into the Sunday night position. They did this on purpose. With that being said, the Giants season is over. Daniel Jones is a turnover machine. I'm going with the Browns.
Yeah, I'm going with the Giants, man. I don't think they'll make the playoffs. I think Washington is, but that defense is good.
Look at you. I can see it in your face that you're just trying to talk yourself into every single one of these.
Bro, I'm a Panthers fan and a Cam fan. I've been doing it all year, bro.
You've been doing it your entire life, besides the Super Bowl year.
Okay, chill out. Let's not do that. Chill out. We've had some years. We've had some years, bro. Chill out.
And then we round it out with Monday. Oh, no, we don't do the Monday Night Football game anymore. I lied. So we're not rounding it out. We round it out with the Sunday night game. Those are our Week 15 predictions. I'm sure that I'll win again, even though I didn't even pick all the teams that I truly think will win. Because, I'm just so far ahead right now that at this point, I'm just trying to make it interesting so Josh doesn't have to feel bad every time he comes on the show.
I don't care about this regular season. All right, I'm a playoff.
Right. Well, how about a couple weeks ago when I had a bad week and you were pretty good and you're like, oh, Connie, I might be coming back.
It's because I wanted to clown you, bro. How'd you blow that lead? Bro?
I didn't blow the lead. Look at the lead now.
But like you got it back because I was making risky picks to try to take the lead early.
Listen. All I hear right now is excuses.
You don't have any excuse for the blown lead, though.
I didn't blow. At no point in this year were you ever leading.
But you got scared for a little bit.
I didn't even.
You
shake.
did. Yeah, you
Not
did.
at one point.
You did.
Listen, whatever helps you sleep at night.
Nah, man, you're scared. I give
that
you nightmares.
bandana's wrapped a little too tight around your head, Josh.
I give you nightmares, bro.
Yeah,
don't
right.
lie.
Right.
Don't lie.
Yeah. It gives me nightmares to think that you would ever have to do the show alone. That's about it.
Oh, come on.
Because we built a solid foundation. I can't have you going and ruining it. Well, let's move on to the NBA real quick. The story that just won't end, seemingly, is James Harden. First it was the Nets, and then all of a sudden he's going to go to Philly, and now there was one other team.
Miami's in there now. Milwaukee.
Yeah, Miami, Milwaukee. I mean, where's he going, Josh? Tell the people, where's he going?
I think the only two places he could go is Miami, Philly. I think Miami's more likely because Philly's not giving up Ben Simmons, and reportedly Houston asked for Ben Simmons and 3 future first-round picks, which is an insane package unless Philly's.
Here's my only question with that. If you were the Sixers, why would you even want Harden and Simmons? Harden is ball dominant. Simmons is ball dominant because he can't shoot.
Yeah,
they don't even mix.
And Harden never plays well with a big man. It's never worked. And so what's Joel going to do? It's just that the trade doesn't make sense. It doesn't. But Miami makes a lot of sense.
That makes sense.
Jimmy and Harden on the same team, but they'd have to get rid of Tyler Hero. But I would get rid of Tyler Hero for James Harden very quickly.
And they got Bam too.
Yeah, I think Miami's most likely destination. I really think that's going to be what the trade is because if Milwaukee didn't give up 4 first-round picks for Drew Holiday, they could get James Harden because he said Milwaukee was on the list as well. but Miami has the best trade offer, and I think that's a place Harden would thrive in. Lots of strip clubs over there, and we know how he feels about those. So I think he'd love it in Miami, and Jimmy Butler and him would get along well. So I think he's going to Miami. I think that's where he's going.
Listen, if James Harden and Butler go down to Miami, I might have to, start going to these clubs as well because they got plenty of money to throw around.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I'm saying. But like you said, I think the Heat probably work the best. In my head, I still kind of hope he goes to the Nets. Not because I think it works the best, but God, I just want to see that. I really want to see how that works. I don't think it would, but Harden, Kyrie, KD, that would be fun. If anything, to watch the locker room explode after the first month of the season because Kyrie's going to – please tell me that you saw KD and Kyrie on the Instagram
I was
live.
about to ask you the same thing, bro. That's just
bro, this
already,
man KD is looking at him like,
he's like,
what the hell are you talking about? He was like, yeah, bro, but in a past life, I was you, bro. He was like, Kyrie's like, yeah, in a past life, I was you. That's why 7 post-ups a game. And KD's like, I think we agree. Katie goes, I thought we agreed on 2.5. And he goes, and the half one is me passing it to you and you passing it right back.
Kyrie's like, we'll see. I'm like, dude, the chemistry is already an issue. Like, what? That whole situation, man, I think the rest of the roster is going to be the reason they're really, really good this year. Obviously, Kyrie and KD came into the first quarter yesterday where they were playing really well. And we saw the post-ups. They gave him about 3 of them in the first quarter. So I'm guessing KD didn't win the conversation as much as he thought he was going to. But I don't know what Kyrie's doing. I don't get it. He's an amazing player, can take anyone one-on-one, beat any defender. But bro,
listen, I'll tell you who he needs to take one-on-one, a psychiatrist. Oh, my gosh, I can't say it.
Psychiatrist?
Yes, thank you. Oh, my God.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he's not a leader. I think it's a good thing KD is there. Yeah,
a doctor.
It's just he needs to fix his attitude in the locker room. Obviously, everyone knows how good of a player he is. He could average 30 if he wants. But you're just tearing the team down when you're just saying all this nonsense. I loved when he said he wasn't going to talk to media. I was like, that's amazing. Please do that. And then
good luck with that in New York.
Today he talked to the media. Today. And he said that the other day. I was like, he's already gone back on his words.
Bro,
I don't know.
If you think you're not going to talk to the media in New York, you're out of your mind.
You and KD in Brooklyn, you think the media's like,
we got others. Let's go cover the Knicks. Bro.
Karis LeVert. Let's go talk to Karis LeVert.
Let's go talk to Jared Allen.
Yeah, I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know.
You're not getting away with not talking to the media.
Imagine adding Harden to that ego locker room.
Oh my God! Listen, like I said, if anything, it'll be very entertaining.
Oh yeah, I'd watch all the games, but I would watch it just because, bro, what kind of offense they're running tonight? Who's dropping 40? Who's it gonna be?
And who's in the locker room at halftime trying to be calmed down by the anger management coach that they had to hire as well?
For real. And all the on-court arguments that would happen, dude. I was open, bro. I know, but I was open too. Just all of that.
Yeah, but I had the ball, so I didn't want to pass it.
That would be amazing.
Listen, the NBA world is going to be very fun, and it's starting a lot sooner than I keep. I keep forgetting it's starting so soon. I know preseason already. Saw KD and Kyrie debut. They played pretty well together. Harden is up in the air. LaMelo is doing his thing.
Clippers suck. They just got beat by the Lakers B team. So
here we go. Gonna have to hear Laker talk all year. Woo! Can't wait.
Well, we can't talk about the Thunder, bro. What are we going to talk? Actually, Thunder's rookies.
No, we can talk about the Thunder.
They look nice, bro.
Exactly. We got a nice little young core. We got 85 first-round picks.
Oh, yeah, bro. 2040 looking nice, bro. 2040.
Oh, my gosh. The next dynasty. But I think that will wrap it up. We'll go right on in to the challenge flags real quick, and then we'll head on out of here. Josh, what do you got?
What have you been saying, bro? You've said a lot of stupid shit. I don't know what else.
Just a lie.
It's not. I mean, what'd you say? Let me see. What we talk about?
I'll tell you what my challenge flag is.
It's
right
another
now.
Cam thing, bro. Come on now. Outside of 2015, he had a lot of good years, bro. He had some really good years still. It's not like that was the only Pro Bowl he ever made. All right.
How many Pro Bowls he got?
4-time Pro Bowler. All right, so why don't you give my boys some respect?
Bro. Xavier Rhodes made the Pro Bowl last year, and everybody and their mother could have ran a route on him last year. So I don't take Pro Bowl votes.
The DB is a lot easier than making it as a quarterback. You know how many talented
quarterbacks? He probably made it as a quarterback because everybody else is busy in the playoffs.
No, bro, nah. He made it because he was good. Yeah. He made it because he was good and took a bad team to a good record. And we made the playoffs a couple times, all right? Just because we had to go against the LOB every single season does not mean it's that we suck.
That's my favorite Cam highlight, that pick six against with Cam Chancellor.
I hate it. Well, guess what happened next year, bro? You want me to let you know what happened next year?
Yeah, what happened?
Cam stared them down coming out the tunnel, and then we beat the crap out of them. So,
in the playoffs?
The playoffs, divisional round. Then we went and beat Arizona.
In the championship round.
Mm-hmm.
And what'd you do in the Super Bowl?
We, my guy.
He forgot what fumbles were.
No, I thought we was gonna make it back next year, so he's like, I can't go hurt my back.
Okay. Listen, my thing for you can't say I blew a lead or choked a lead when I never, gave up the lead. I don't think, Josh, we can go back. I don't think at a single point this year you were ever leading in the record predictions.
You're right, but
I was first place out the gates and first place to end.
There was a point in time where you were up about 30 something, and I closed that gap to single digits. I was only down 9. So that's a blown lead.
If you want that pat on the back, go ahead.
That is
a blown lead would be if I was up 30 and then all of a sudden you were up. I never blew the lead.
The lead. You didn't give it up.
You shrank the lead. No. You shrank.
I didn't do nothing.
No, I absolutely disagree with you.
Actually, another thing, that's what happens when I pick the games. I don't take risks. I go 11 wins every
maybe you should have done that from the beginning of the year. We wouldn't be in the situation.
I like to have fun and try to get
risky. Also, that I like to win.
Okay, man. I agree to disagree.
Oh, now this. I'm sure if you were winning, though, you'd have no problem saying things. Yeah, but then again, we won't ever have to worry about that. So
okay, just wait till this weekend, bro. Meet me in fantasy.
Okay, I will. We're going to come up with a bet. We will. We're really going to.
All right.
But with all that being said, that'll wrap it up for this edition. Before we go, of course, got to thank the sponsors one more time. If you're into the betting world, like I know a lot of people over here at USN are, make sure you head over to mybookie.ag, use code USN100 to double your first deposit. And then with all of your money, go over to Unwrapped you go to Teespring/store/Unwrapped, and you buy all of our merch. We got the hoodies, towels, mugs, posters, everything. Go buy that. And then with your extra winnings, go to RX Hemp. Get their premium CBD creams, make you feel brand new in the morning after a long day of working out or, just walking up the stairs when you're a big man like me. So make sure you head over there, use all the products. Josh, another wonderful episode, if I say so myself. What you got for the people before we head on out?
Yep. Follow me on Twitter at Josh8Lenars. Obviously, every Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern time, me and Connie will be here. And then Thursdays, me and Monique go live. We recap Thursday Night Football. I give my foreign basketball league bets. All I'm saying is I went 4-1 on that show and went 5-0 last night with my own bets. So if I were you, I'd take advantage of these freebies I'm giving you. And then Monique does her UFC locks. That is at 11 p.m. Central for everyone who stays up late. So make sure you tune in.
Yes, sir. And like Josh said, follow me on Twitter. Obviously, we just said it. We do this show Monday, 7, not 6, like Josh thinks sometimes. So we do this. We always have a good time. And then on Thursdays, make sure you check out me and my guy, Michael. We do backstop banter, talking everything baseball. Josh always hops in there to make it seem like he knows what we're talking about, even though he won't come on the show. But we're going to get him on one of these days. Don't you worry. Backstop banter, we usually go live at 10. That's always a good thing. We started our new series where we're breaking all 30 teams in the 15 weeks leading up to the MLB regular season opener. So make sure you head over to the MLB, or technically now Baseball Unwrapped Twitter, and go vote on our polls to see who you want us to talk about next. But with all that being said, that'll be it for this edition of Blitz Boys. Josh, wonderful show. We will see you all.